A smile is the most dangerous lie on earth. Teeth out, eyes dead. That's how betrayal enters your life. You think enemies look like monsters? They don't. They look friendly, warm, polite. They clap when you win. They hug you when you're bleeding. They say, "I'm happy for you," while praying for your fall. The world doesn't destroy you with hate. It destroys you with fake kindness. You were trained to trust smiles since childhood. Be nice. Be positive. Don't judge. So you walked through life blind, surrounded by actors, performers, professional pretenders. And every scar you carry, every night you couldn't sleep, every time you whispered, "Why did they do this to me?" The answer was simple. You believe the smile. Pain is a brutal teacher, but it gives vision. After betrayal, you start noticing things, tiny things. The delay before someone congratulates you. The tightness in their jaw. The way their eyes scan the room to see who's watching before they hug you. Real smiles are rare. Fake smiles are currency. A real smile starts in the eyes. It's slow, uncontrolled, honest. It softens the face. A fake one is fast, mechanical, perfect, like a mask snapping into place. But this isn't about facial muscles. This is about survival. Because fake smiles don't just hide feelings, they hide intentions. Jealousy wears a grin. Resentment says, "Brother." Envy calls you, "Best friend." And you kept offering loyalty to people offering performance. That's why you're tired. That's why you feel alone even in a crowd. Your nervous system knows, even when your mind makes excuses. Your body feels the lie before your brain admits it. That's slight discomfort around someone. That's data. That's silence after you share good news. Data. That friend who jokes about your dreams a little too much. People. Data. But you ignored it because you wanted connection more than truth. That's how the weak get played. They chase warmth. The strong chase clarity. A fake smile is a test, a filter. A warning sign for those awake enough to see it. Watch the eyes, but more importantly, watch patterns. Anyone can fake a moment. Nobody can fake consistency. Do they celebrate you when you're not in the room? Do they defend you when you're not there to hear it? Do they disappear when you rise? Fake smiles fade when you stop being useful. That's the rule. People don't reveal themselves in comfort. They reveal themselves when your life changes. Success exposes fake friends. Failure exposes fake loyalty. When you fall, watch who steps back. When you rise, watch who goes quiet. Silence is the language of envy. They won't attack you directly. Cowards never do. They'll smile, agree, support. People then plant seeds of doubt behind your back. Character assassination always starts with a grin. You must become emotionally cold enough to observe without attachment. Not heartless, just clear. Feelings blur vision. Neediness blinds judgment. The moment you need someone to like you, you've already lost power. Because now you'll accept fake. The Joker lesson is simple. The world is a stage. Most people are acting. The few who aren't, they're dangerous in a different way. Honest people don't smile on command. They don't flatter. They don't perform happiness. Their faces match their mood. Their words match their actions. No theater. But society calls them rude, cold, difficult. Because truth makes people uncomfortable. Fake smiles are social glue. Well, truth is social fire. You must decide what you want. Comfort or clarity. Because once you see fake smiles, you can't unsee them. The illusion dies. You'll walk into rooms and instantly feel who's real, who's threatened, who's pretending. It's lonely at first, very lonely, because most of your circle was built on illusion. Shared jokes, shared habits, shared distractions, not shared truth. So when you stop responding to fake energy, people drift away. Good. Let them. Better a small circle of truth than a crowd of masks. These understand this deeply. Fake smiles exist because people are afraid. Afraid you're better. Afraid you'll leave them behind. Afraid your growth exposes their stagnation. So they smile to stay close enough to monitor you, not to support you. The enemy doesn't always want to destroy you. Sometimes they just want to make sure you never outgrow them. So they subtly discourage, subtly distract, subtly drain, all while smiling. Energy vampires don't look evil. They look friendly and tired. After spending time with them, you feel heavy, doubtful. Smaller. That's not random. That's emotional theft. A real friend adds energy. A fake one subtracts it. Simple equation. Your job isn't to expose them. That's amateur behavior. Your job is distance, silence, observation, reduced access. You don't confront snakes. You stop walking barefoot. Power is quiet. The strongest move is emotional neutrality. No anger, no drama, no announcements, just withdrawal. When fake smiles lose access to your time, your secrets, your emotions, they fade. Because they were never there for you. They were there for supply. Attention, validation, information. You were a resource, not a relationship. That truth hurts, but it frees you. Because now you stop chasing approval from actors. You stop performing back, and something shifts. When your face becomes calm, unreadable, grounded, you don't rush to please. You don't overshare. You don't react fast. Observers can't be manipulated easily. When people can't read you, they reveal themselves trying. Watch how fake smiles crack when you don't give emotional reactions. Watch how jokes turn sharp, how compliments turn passive-aggressive. Masks slip under pressure. Silence is pressure. Stillness is power. You don't need revenge. Life handles fake people brutally. They're never at peace, always comparing, always acting. That's a prison worse than punishment. Your victory is awareness. Your revenge is detachment. Your power is emotional control. Because the one who sees through the mask cannot be controlled by it. And once you stop being controlled, you become dangerous in a way the fake never can be. Calm, observant, unmoved. Smiles no longer hypnotize you. Words no longer seduce you. You read energy, patterns, behavior. That's real vision. That's how you move through betrayal without becoming bitter. Through loneliness without becoming desperate. Through the world without being fooled. The smile is just the surface. Truth lives underneath. And now you finally know where to look. Good. Because this is where most people break. Seeing fake smiles is one thing. Accepting what it means is another. Once the illusion dies, your world changes. You replay memories, conversations, moments, and suddenly it's obvious. That compliment had a sting. That advice held you back. That laughter wasn't joy. It was relief at your struggle. You weren't paranoid. You were late. The pain you feel right now, that's not weakness. That's withdrawal. You're detoxing from illusion. For years, maybe your whole life, you survived on social validation, smiles, praise, approval, tiny emotional rewards that kept you bonded to people who never truly valued you. Now you're cutting that supply. Of course it hurts. Your mind will try to go back. It will whisper. Maybe you're overthinking. Maybe they didn't mean it. Maybe you're being too cold. That voice is fear of isolation. Humans would rather be lied to together than stand alone in truth. But growth is a lonely road in the beginning, because clarity reduces your circle before it improves your life. This is the psychological battlefield. You are fighting two enemies at once: the fake people outside and the emotional dependency inside. The outside enemy smiles. The inside enemy craves that smile. That's the real war. You must understand why fake smiles worked on you. It wasn't stupidity, it was conditioning. As a child, approval meant safety. A smile from a parent meant you did well. A teacher's praise meant you belonged. Rejection felt like danger, so your nervous system learned. Smiles equal security. Now you're an adult, but your wiring is ancient. So when someone smiles, your guard lowers automatically, even if your intuition screams. Fake people exploit this, not consciously always, but instinctively. They sense who seeks approval, who wants to be liked, who fears conflict. And they feed you just enough warmth to keep you close. You become easy to manage, easy to influence, easy to use. That ends now, because once you see the pattern, you can reprogram yourself. First lesson: discomfort is information, not a threat. When someone's energy feels off, don't rush to fix it. Don't smile harder. Don't talk more. Don't perform. Sit in the discomfort. Observe. Who changes the subject when you speak about your goals? Who minimizes your pain but exaggerates theirs? Who competes with your stories instead of connecting? Fake smiles can hide emotion. They can't hide behavior over time. Time is the ultimate lie detector. Second lesson: stop over-explaining yourself. Oversharing is an invitation for manipulation. When you tell everyone your fears, dreams, and plans, you hand them your psychological blueprint. The fake ones don't clap. They calculate. They learn where you're insecure, where you doubt yourself, where you need encouragement. And later, subtly, they press those buttons. A joke here, a comment there, a realistic warning disguised as care. Your confidence erodes slowly. You don't even notice. That's strategic discouragement. Powerful people move in silence for a reason. Mystery protects momentum. Third lesson: watch how people react to your boundaries. Fake smiles love access. Access to your time, your attention, your emotional labor. The moment you say no, watch their face. Real people adjust. Fake ones guilt trip. You've changed. You think you're better now? I was just joking. Why are you so serious? They don't miss you. They miss control. Boundaries are the fastest way to expose fake loyalty. Fourth lesson. Stop mistaking familiarity for loyalty. People. Just because someone has been around for years doesn't mean they're real. Time means nothing without integrity. Some people stay in your life not because they care, but because you've always been accessible. You were convenient. History does not equal trustworthiness. Fifth lesson, learn to sit alone without reaching for noise. This is where most fail. Once fake smiles fade, silence enters your life. Weekends feel quieter. Your phone buzzes less. Invitations decrease. And the temptation comes to text first, to check in, to reattach to people who drained you. Don't. Loneliness is the doorway to self-respect. If you can sit in a room alone without needing distraction, you become emotionally independent, and emotionally independent people are hard to manipulate because they don't need social crumbs to feel okay. Fake people sense that shift immediately. Your energy changes. You stop chasing. You stop reacting. You stop trying to impress. And suddenly they feel uncomfortable around you. Why? Because you're no longer participating in the performance. You're watching the play instead of acting in it. That makes actors nervous. They'll try one last time to pull you back. Extra friendliness. Sudden support. Old memories brought up. It's not reconnection, it's retrieval. They're trying to regain access to the version of you that was easier to influence. Stay still. Consistency breaks manipulators. When they realize the old tactics don't work, they leave. Or they expose themselves in frustration. Either way you win, but here's the deeper truth. Detecting fake smiles is not just about others. It's about you dropping your own mask. Yes, you had one too. You smiled when you were hurt. You agreed when you disagreed. You laughed when you felt disrespected. That's self-betrayal. And the world mirrored it. You can't demand authenticity while living in performance. So, part of this transformation is brutal honesty with yourself. What do you tolerate that you hate? Who do you keep around out of habit? Where do you shrink to make others comfortable? Every time you betray your own feelings, you teach people to do the same. Self-respect trains others how to treat you. And self-respect is built in silence, not speeches. You don't announce change, you embody it. You speak less, listen more, react slower, choose carefully. And something powerful happens. You stop fearing fake smiles because you no longer depend on them. Approval loses its grip, rejection loses its sting. You see people clearly, but you're not emotionally tangled in their reactions. That's psychological freedom. And from that freedom comes a dangerous calm, a calm that cannot be flattered, cannot be rushed, cannot be guilted. When someone smiles now, you don't melt, you assess. When someone praises you, you don't rise, you observe consistency. When someone criticizes you, you don't collapse. You evaluate truth, your center stays still. That's power most people never reach because they spend their lives chasing emotional reassurance. You're stepping beyond that into a colder, clearer space, just aware, not isolated, just selective. And in that selectiveness, your life begins to change in ways fake people could never imagine. Good. Because awareness without transformation is just another trap. You see the masks now. But vision alone doesn't make you powerful. Control does. This is where you stop being the victim of fake energy and become untouchable by it. The final stage isn't about spotting lies. It's about becoming internally solid. Because fake smiles only work on emotional gaps. Need for approval, fear of rejection, hunger for belonging. Close those gaps and manipulation starves. Start here. Detach your self-worth from other people's reactions. Most people live like emotional beggars. They wake up hoping someone validates their existence. A compliment lifts them. Silence destroys them. That's slavery. Your value cannot rise and fall based on facial expressions. You must build an internal standard so strong that outside opinions become background noise. This doesn't mean arrogance. It means self-definition. You know who you are, what you stand for, what you tolerate, what you don't. So when someone smiles fake or frowns real, your direction doesn't change. That stability is terrifying to manipulators because they can't steer you with emotional signals. Next, master emotional delay. Most people react instantly. A look, a comment, boom, emotional response. That's how control happens. When you slow your reactions, you create psychological space. Someone says something passive-aggressive, pause. Look, let silence stretch. Now they feel exposed. Now they have to explain themselves. Stillness forces truth to surface. Emotional delay turns you from prey into observer. And observers hold power. Then comes selective expression. You don't owe everyone access to your feelings. Fake smiles feed on emotional information. They study your reactions to know where you're vulnerable. So you become measured, not robotic, just intentional. You share joy with the few who earn trust. You share struggles only with the proven. Everyone else gets neutrality. This is not being closed off. It's being disciplined. Emotions are valuable. Stop handing them to strangers in friendly masks. Now understand the highest level of this game. Forgiveness without reconnection. This is where real strength lies. You let go of anger, but you don't reopen doors. Because anger keeps you tied emotionally. But access gives them influence again. You forgive for your peace, you distance for your power. No speeches, no dramatic exits. Just quiet removal. That silence will confuse them more than confrontation ever could. Because fake people prepare for drama. They don't know how to fight indifference. Indifference is emotional invisibility. And invisibility is the ultimate escape from manipulation. But here's the transformation most never reach. You stop hating fake smiles. You understand them. They're armor worn by insecure people. People afraid to be disliked. People terrified of confrontation. People too weak to be honest. Pity replaces anger. And pity is emotionally neutral. When you look at a fake smile and feel nothing, you have won. No rage, no hurt, no desire to expose. Just clarity. And clarity creates focus. All the energy you once spent decoding social games now goes into building yourself, your skills, your body, your mind, your mission. Because the ultimate revenge was never destruction. It was elevation. The higher you rise internally, the less fake energy can reach you. Their opinions become distant echoes. Their gossip becomes irrelevant noise. Their smiles become background decoration. You move differently now. You don't enter rooms seeking attention. You enter with presence. You don't speak to impress people. You speak with precision. You don't trust quickly. But when you do, it's real. Your circle becomes smaller, but stronger. Fewer smiles, more loyalty, fewer words, more meaning. This is the paradox. When you stop chasing connection, real connection finds you. Because authentic people recognize authenticity instantly. They feel your calm, your grounded energy, your lack of neediness, and they relax around you. No performance required, no fake smiles necessary, just presence. But even then, you stay aware, not paranoid, just conscious. You know human nature doesn't change, only your response does. You don't expect perfection from people. You expect patterns, consistency over charm, actions over expressions, time over talk. And because of that, betrayal stops shocking you. If someone reveals themselves, you nod internally. Adjust distance, move forward. No drama. Drama is for people still addicted to emotional chaos. You operate in quiet strength now, the kind of strength that doesn't need applause, the kind that walks away without announcement, the kind that can sit alone in peace while the world performs for attention. This is ultimate power. Not domination, not intimidation. Inner independence. The moment you no longer need smiles, approval, or validation to feel whole. You become impossible to control. And that is the Joker lesson hidden beneath the chaos. The world is full of masks. Let them wear them. You don't need to rip them off. You just stop being fooled by them. See clearly. Feel little. Move wisely. And remember this until your last breath. A fake smile can only deceive the person who still wants to believe it.